The movie begins at Trenton High School, where Coach Wills is yelling at his football team because they are not ready for the big game. He treats Stan, the team's star player, very badly, and Stan is about to confront him until his friend pulls him away. Then Wills flips over the water table and starts screaming aggressively. Suddenly, the water sprinkler turns on, and while trying to cover it, he notices someone standing behind him. Later that night, the teachers leave the school after a meeting, and Principal Drake realizes she forgot her keys inside. When she goes back to get them, strange things begin happening. Wills asks her for a pen and refuses to move out of her way. She hands him a pen from her desk, but he uses it to cut her hand. Drake stabs him with her keys and runs away, leaving the keys behind in the chaos. She searches desperately for an open exit but cannot find one, so she rushes into the science lab hoping to escape through the window. Wills catches up to her, but she smashes a bottle over his head and pushes him away. She grabs a pair of scissors and runs again until she reaches the main entrance, where she sees Miss Olsen outside. Drake tries to reach her, but without the keys she is forced to go back to her office. While searching the floor for the keys, she hears Olsen screaming. Terrified, she runs toward the door and barely manages to open it while Wills, bleeding heavily, chases after her. After escaping, she realizes she left the scissors inside, and Olsen picks them up and stares at her in a disturbing way. The next morning, students begin arriving at school, and it quickly becomes clear that most of them are troublemakers. Fights break out in the hallways, while Zeke drives recklessly with illegal pills hidden inside his car bag. Casey gets beaten up the moment he steps off the bus, and Mary Beth, the new student, struggles to make friends with the others. Zeke rushes into the bathroom to sell his pills and fake ID cards to other students. Meanwhile, Casey treats his injuries in the restroom. In the teacher's lounge, everyone notices that Wills is drinking an insane amount of water, while Olsen walks in acting unusually friendly toward him. Inside the classroom, the shy teacher Miss Burke becomes impressed by an incredibly smart answer from Zeke, despite him being considered a failing student. In the hallway, Stan tells his girlfriend Delilah that he plans to quit the football team so he can focus on studying, but she dumps him because she believes cheerleaders should only date football players. During lunch break, Mary Beth tries to befriend Stokely, but Delilah mocks Stokely and humiliates her until she walks away. Stokely returns inside the school and notices that Olsen is acting very strangely. At the same time, Casey discovers a bizarre insect near the football field. He takes it to Mr. Furlong in the science lab, where they examine it under a microscope. Furlong explains that it resembles a species usually found inside the kidneys of squids or octopuses, which makes no sense because they are in Ohio. Furlong realizes there is something unnatural about the creature and suggests it may be an entirely new species. One of the students accidentally spills water on it, causing it to move, so Furlong places it inside a fish tank. The creature suddenly starts swimming and grows thin tentacle-like strands. When Furlong puts his hand into the tank, the creature multiplies rapidly and reveals sharp teeth. Shocked, they decide to contact the university for help. Later, Stan tells Coach Wills that he is quitting the team, but Wills reacts in an oddly calm manner. Soon after, Stan goes into the bathroom and encounters Mrs. Brummel, who looks extremely sick and exhausted. She says she cannot breathe and whispers strange words, claiming that they want everyone. As Stan tries to calm her down, he notices a clump of her hair falling into his hand. After class, Olsen tells Stan and Casey that Brummel had cancer and asks them not to discuss it. Casey looks out the window and sees Will standing beneath the water sprinkler, but Olsen blocks him from taking pictures. Meanwhile, in the parking lot, Zeke continues selling illegal products to students. Miss Burke catches him and tries to lecture him because she believes he could become an excellent student, but she gets embarrassed while he mocks her, eventually walking away. At the same time, Casey meets up with Delilah because they both work for the school newspaper. After noticing the huge number of water bottles around the school, they sneak into the teacher's lounge searching for evidence against the staff. While hiding inside a closet, they overhear Olsen and Wills having a disturbing conversation. Wills continues drinking water obsessively while Olsen pours water over her own face. They discuss how the climate killed Brummel and reveal that all the teachers have changed, and now they need to take control of the students. Suddenly, the school nurse walks in, and Wills and Olsen surround her and force her onto the couch. Will's face begins changing in a horrifying way, and his ear tears apart. Casey and Delilah panic, accidentally knocking into Brummel's dead body. Wills hears the noise and opens the closet, forcing the two students to run for their lives. The nurse grabs Delilah's leg, but Casey pulls her free and they escape. The two students run to Principal Drake for help, but she laughs when she sees Wills and the other teachers, making them realize she is part of the conspiracy too. A little later, Casey returns with the police and his parents. They search the closet but find nothing except a CPR dummy, and everyone yells at Casey for what seems like a ridiculous prank. Afterward, Drake speaks privately with the police officer, and Casey notices the officer beginning to act strangely as well. Drake also wants to speak with Casey's parents, but Casey becomes terrified that they may have changed too, so he begs them to go back home. Back in Casey's room, his parents search everywhere to make sure he is not hiding drugs or illegal substances. They confiscate his phone, internet access, music, and inappropriate magazines, then inform him that he is officially grounded. Casey then tries to escape through the window, but he's shocked to find teachers standing in the yard. He falls to the ground, and the teachers try to grab him. However, the moment his father steps outside, they suddenly disappear. The next day, Casey is forced to go to school even though he doesn't want to. He becomes uneasy when he sees Wills talking with his father. In the teacher's lounge, all the staff are drinking massive amounts of water while working on repairing the air conditioning system. In class, Stokely accidentally falls into Stan's arms, and they smile while talking about their future dreams. Then the teacher announces a special exam where students must write down their names and the names of all their living relatives. In the hallway, Stan and Stokely notice a long line of students waiting for ear examinations. Stokely tries to spy on them, but the door suddenly closes in her face. At the same time, Stan sees Olsen arriving with a group of police officers. Meanwhile, Zeke meets Mary Beth and offers her pills, but she politely refuses. Zeke notices that the students are acting unusually calm. He also sees a long line forming at the water fountain. Two students come to buy all his pills, but they get angry when they realize he has none left. Suddenly, Miss Burke appears, unusually confident and dressed provocatively, mocking Zeke and embarrassing him in front of everyone. In the library, Casey asks Stokely for help because he knows she likes science fiction. After he explains everything, she jokes that it might be an alien invasion, but Casey starts to think she might actually be right. Later, they meet Stan and Delilah, and the group heads to the science lab, where they discover the tank is empty. While discussing the alien theory, Zeke takes Mary Beth to the room next to the lab to search for chemicals to make more pills. As they get closer, they overhear the group talking about aliens. Zeke decides to prank them by pretending he has been attacked by aliens. Suddenly, Mr. Furlong appears in the lab demanding an explanation. Zeke tells him Casey's theory to embarrass him, but Furlong shuts the windows and reveals he has already sent the strange insects to the university. When Zeke tries to leave, Furlong throws him to the ground. Casey tries to attack him, but Furlong grabs him by the neck, while Delilah gets knocked down trying to intervene. Zeke grabs a paper cutter blade and cuts off Furlong's finger, but the severed finger begins crawling toward them. Furlong violently attacks Zeke, oozing strange fluids as small tendrils emerge from his wound. Zeke responds by stabbing his eye with a pen filled with pill powder, then kicks the finger away. The fingers start crawling toward the students, while Furlong throws Zeke toward the tank. Zeke falls back, and the group realizes Furlong is dead. They then discover that the creatures are weak against Zeke's pill powder. Casey takes the creature that came from Furlong as evidence. The group walks through the hallway and notices all the students staring at them, while the classrooms are eerily perfect and the students behave like angels. They reach the parking lot and leave in Zeke's car. They try to turn on the radio, but all stations are down. They also see a police officer outside the school, but Zeke manages to speed past him. Later, in Zeke's garage, they find a gun. Casey gives Zeke the alien creature, and Zeke places it in a mouse cage and pours water on it. The creature immediately reacts and infects the mouse by grabbing its ear. Zeke then cuts open the mouse, revealing that the alien lives inside another host and controls it. They also learn that it needs moisture to survive, which explains why Zeke's pills, diuretics, killed the creature inside Furlong by drying it out. Stokely realizes there may be an alien queen connected to all the creatures, and if she dies, all of them will die as well. They begin debating how to identify who among them is still human, since anyone could be infected. Zeke suggests they all take the pill powder to prove they are safe. Casey takes it first and shows no infection, and Zeke smiles at him. Zeke refuses to take his own pills, so Stan points a gun at him and forces him to take them. Stan and Stokely also take the powder and laugh like Casey, proving they are safe as well. When Casey tries to give the powder to Mary Beth and Delilah, the two girls join forces, preparing for what comes next, and Mary Beth takes the powder. Delilah suddenly shows them that she is infected. She pulls Stan away, while Casey grabs the gun but doesn't know how to use it. Stokely takes it from him and fires, but she misses Delilah, who crashes into the lab to stop them from using the powder that kills the remaining alien creatures. Stokely immediately runs out of the lab, and the students try to chase her, but she finds a taxi waiting and escapes in it. Meanwhile, Zeke gathers the remaining powder into a bottle. The group heads back to school for the big game, where a huge crowd is already gathered, meaning they have to stop the aliens before they spread any further. They regroup in the gym and realize that Drake is the queen, since she's the principal and has access to all the teachers. Drake shows up in the gym like it's nothing unusual. Stan immediately tackles her, and with Zeke's help they restrain her using a basketball net. Zeke unlocks the door with a key while Stan holds her at gunpoint and demands she take the powder. Drake refuses. Casey considers stabbing her with a pen but hesitates when she starts begging. Zeke gets frustrated, takes the gun, and shoots Drake in the head. When they see she's bleeding normally, they think they made a mistake. But Drake suddenly gets back up, and alien creatures start pouring out of her body. At the same time, Mary Beth reveals her true form by smashing a glass bottle over Delilah's head, killing her. Now they have to figure out if their plan worked before the crowd leaves. Stan volunteers to go out and check. Before he leaves, Zeke gives him the gun, and Stokely kisses him. Stan reaches the field and sees the football team surrounding Wills, while alien creatures burst out of his body as he stands in the rain. Stan returns to the gym window, where they pass him a pen filled with powder from under the door to test if he's still human. He takes it and throws the powder away, then runs. Since the powder is gone, Zeke has to go to his car to get the remaining pens. Casey and Zeke carefully leave the gym. Casey decides to act as bait and runs, leading the others away so Zeke can reach his car. Casey hides inside another bus, but Delilah finds him. When she stands in front of the football players, they surround the bus, and Casey escapes through the emergency roof hatch just in time. Meanwhile, Zeke searches his car but can't find the pens. Miss Burke shows up and flirts with him. He tries to start the car, but she smashes the window and attacks him. While driving away, he loses control, then quickly regains it and crashes into a bus, causing a small explosion and fire. Zeke is slightly injured but survives and escapes with the pens. He then finds Miss Burke's head still alive, crawling on tentacles looking for her body, so he runs away. In the gym, Stokely becomes suspicious of Mary Beth when she claims to be someone else. Mary Beth hits her and begins transforming into her true alien queen form. At the same time, Casey returns and runs with Stokely toward the swimming pool. The queen chases them but slips and falls into the pool. Stokely wakes up quickly and swims to the surface before the queen can kill her. Casey helps her escape, and they run again. In the locker room, they hide while Mary Beth searches for them in human form. Zeke arrives and sees Stokely and Mary Beth accusing each other of being the queen. Realizing Mary Beth has been pretending all along, he sees her true alien form and understands she is the queen. She explains that her planet is dying, which is why she came to Earth. Casey tries to attack her, but Stokely stops him, revealing she is also infected. Mary Beth leaves, and tentacles start appearing everywhere. Casey escapes, grabs the pens, and heads to the gym, luring the Queen toward the bleachers. After a short chase, he jumps at the right moment and traps the alien Queen inside the closing bleachers. He injects her with the powder at the same time she injects alien creatures into him. The powder quickly kills the Queen, and the creatures inside Casey die as well. Casey checks on Stokely, who is unconscious but alive. 1 month later, everything is back to normal. Zeke takes Stan's place on the football team. Miss Burke watches practice. Stan is with Stokely, and Delilah is with Casey. Casey becomes a national hero after publishing his story, and that's the end of the movie. Don't forget that your opinion matters to us, so make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel.